Here we go. We're recording.
Good?
Yep.
Okay,
Okay,
introduce
guys.
yourself and tell us
Yes,
about your
yes,
experience.
yes. By the way, thank you for having me, guys. My name is Thomas Kucera. First name T-O-M-S, last name K-U-C-E-R-A, just in case you want to Google me. I'm a licensed attorney in the state of Florida. I do real estate law, I do condominium law, transactional law, closings, and litigation, real estate and civil litigation. I'm here to, I guess, introduce myself to you guys because I heard that you perhaps may be considering switching a law firm for your condominium needs, whether it's collections or anything else. And that's what I do. I've been doing it for several years. Currently, I represent about 3 condominiums. I'm not a big law firm, so you can usually get hold of me on my phone, email. I usually respond within 1 day. And I represent your neighbor right here, Rural Bahamian Association. That's one of my clients. And I think Lily can vouch for me. Most of the work that condominiums usually need is collections. People don't pay, so demand letter, notice of suspendence, foreclosure, etc., etc. Another part of this collection deal is when banks foreclose on unit owners. Most of the big law firms, I'm not going to name, but most of them, they approach everything one size fits all, and that's not what I do. Same thing with Royal Bahamian. I try to get as much money as possible for the condominiums by paying attention to a detail, fighting the foreclosures on your behalf. And what I can offer you is, well, actually, what I can offer to you is representing you in the collection, in any litigation you might have, or any questions you may have as a board of directors. Whether something is legal or illegal, whether it's in compliance with Florida law, Florida statute 718, which is the one that governs the condominium. And really, the word is on you guys. I'm assuming you would have to get together during a meeting and have a vote whether you want to hire a new firm or my firm, or not, or whether you want the current firm representing you in certain aspects and me representing you in others. It's strictly up to you. Know that no one can tell you who you hire as a lawyer, whether it's me or somebody else. It's strictly up to you. You can hire and fire in the state of Florida. You can hire and fire your lawyer at any given time. Okay, so if you think because you signed some kind of, and that goes for me, that goes for anybody. If you do decide to switch, whether it's to my firm or to somebody else, from my personal experience, there are 2 ways of doing it. One of them is the cold turkey, where you tell your current law firm, hey, we don't want to use you anymore, give us all the files, and you give it to the new firm. A lot of the old firms that you're taking the files from, they may do the following. They say, oh, so you're taking 30 files from us, this is how much money you owe us. Okay? And they may provide you, give you a bill for X amount of money. Or there's the second approach where you let the current firm finish the files they have, and if there are any new files, collection files, you start giving it to the new firm. Okay? So that's the second approach you may want to take. It is up to you what you want to do. I don't want to advise you either way. But ultimately, you have to make a decision whether that's what you want to do. You want to switch to a new lawyer.
But in any case, you have to let them know that it's a new lawyer within the
Yeah, you
premises.
can. Well, no, you don't have to. You can, if you make a decision, because again, the decisions you make do not affect the law firm, because the law firm is not part of your condominium. They're a service provider. So imagine.
They're working for you.
Exactly. Imagine you guys have lawn here, here, and here, and then you tell your current lawn company, yeah, just cut once a month, and then you have another lawn company come in and come, in the middle of the month. That's within your right. So you really don't have to tell them anything. It's strictly up to you. You can if you want to. Some of the HOAs and condominiums, they like to do the clean cut. They say, you know what, we have somebody new, give us all the files, and you give it to me. But I've seen some condominiums, I'll be honest with you, I mean that would probably be the easiest way, but just so you know, because I want you to be fully educated. I have seen some HOAs in Broward County where that's what they did, large HOAs, and the law firm said, okay, here's an $80,000 bill or $150,000 bill, and you have to pay it before we release the files. The question is whether that bill is justified. If you guys pay them as you go, it probably is not, because I'm assuming they bill you every month, and that's how many lawyers do it. They bill you.
Stretching the situation more and more.
Exactly, and so you're receiving billables, detailed phone calls, emails, all that stuff. If you paid every single month, that shouldn't be the case, but you never know. And sometimes you have to push back. You know, if you do the cold cut turkey, if you will, and they say, okay, we release all these files, but you have to pay us this much. You know, you look at it and say, well, we paid you last month. Where did all this come from? So you may have to push back. That's if you choose that route. I say the more sensitive route is probably exactly. If there's a new file comes up, unit, I'm gonna make it up. Unit 305 just stopped paying 3 months now. Send it to collections. You send it to the new law firm, and let them work the ones they have now. You can do that. You don't have to tell them. You can if you want to. It's up to you. You know.
You're signing them, that's it. Up to here.
I personally, if I was you guys, I probably wouldn't tell them. I would have the meeting. I would make your decision what you want to do, but I probably wouldn't tell them because a lot of firms they take it personally. You know, you are an income to them, just like you're going to be for anybody else. You know, so that's ultimately your decision. If you have any questions about this, beyond what I just said, let me know.
I have questions about transfer all cases which is still open with our lawyer, which
Correct.
is still provide the service for the bucket towers.
Correct.
How is this working?
Right. So what would happen? Let's just say this is the case. This is one case, okay? And they initiate a foreclosure, and they filed the complaint, but you don't have a judgment yet. So what happens is, the lawyers, me and them, we do something called stipulation for substitution of counsel, and all we are telling to the judge, hey judge, they're stepping out, I'm stepping in, and I take the file and I take over.
So this has to be go with it in the court, or it's a
If there's a if there's an active case, you have to tell the court, and you have to tell the unit owner and the lawyer. There's a new lawyer, and you know that's going to be representing Buckley, and it's just one document. We both sign. I sign it. The old lawyer signs it, and this way you are letting everybody know that any future papers go to my office and not to their office. So that's very smooth. I mean.
So when we talking about the lawyer, which is represented right now us. So for example, we doesn't know if he still continue to working or he's on the hold.
Yeah.
So we have to let him know we have a lawyer. If we decided, let's say, if the board decided working with you.
Yes.
So we have to inform him we have a new lawyer and he is stopping immediately to open all cases or continue to working with the cases which is he has for many years.
Yes.
And he transfer everything to you.
Yes. Yeah. Like I said, there are two ways of doing it. One of them, you stop working. You, the old lawyer, it's Katzman, right? Mr. Katzman. We have a new lawyer. We want you to stop working all the cases right now and transfer them to Kucera.
Okay.
Or number two. Number two, there are three. Number two, Mr. Katzman, we have Kucera here. Finish all the cases that you have now, but anything new we give to Kucera.
You don't have to tell him.
But you don't have to. You don't have to.
You don't have to tell him.
And the third option is what I just described, but you just don't tell him. It's like he's gonna finish working all the cases, and all the new cases right here, they go to Kucera. And you don't have to tell them. Why I think this is better if you choose that, because if he finds out that you no longer, maybe he's gonna bill you more, So do what's best for you guys.
But this is the whole idea because we still not stopped working him, and again he charged a lot.
I know.
He charged for the phone call, he charged for the mail. This is not acceptable to us. Our condominiums right now cannot handle this.
I know.
I can tell you in the beginning. So when you will be creating your proposal for us, just imagine this.
Yes.
We not reach property. We
I know.
cannot pay,
I know.
I'm sorry,
Listen,
$75 per hour.
Listen, guys, Royal Bohemian, Buckley, it's about the same, By the way, I don't charge for phone calls. She knows it. I don't charge for phone calls, and I don't charge for emails too. Everybody else does. I don't. It's a pain in the ass. You call me, I answer your questions. We're done in 5-10 minutes. I hang up. I would have to go to my thing, log it in, it's pain. And I do that as a courtesy to the client. Not just you, if I do civil litigation, I don't charge for phone calls, I don't charge for emails. So
Okay.
that's discount right there. Number two, if you guys want, we can figure out how much of a volume work it is, and
Mhm.
maybe we can do like a flat fee retainer where you know how much you pay. And sometimes a lot of my clients, it's good for them, and in a way it's good for me because you know how much you're gonna pay, and I don't have to get into details and billings. Usually you end up paying less money, you know, and I don't have to, or my assistant doesn't have to do the inputs and send you all these spreadsheets billables, you know. So let's just say I take 10 cases or whatever it is. The one thing that that you always have to pay for is like the cost, you know, the cost of filing a lawsuit.
Applications and
Exactly. That's standard, that's normal. But again, it's amongst you guys to discuss whether you want to continue the billable stuff or you want to do a flat fee.
What about the last sample that you gave us, that you go to the judge and then you take the
Yes.
part? How will the billing will do that?
Oh, no, I mean, the stipulation of the counsel, I don't charge for. I can prepare the document. That there's no charge, but like there's
But if you're gonna take over,
Right.
you're gonna charge.
for the case, yes,
Whatever he has. Okay, he gave you a case,
yes,
and that's halfway done. How you gonna divide?
exactly. So can I draw? With a piece of paper. I didn't bring my briefcase.
Here it is.
Here.
So, right, that's a good question actually, very good question. So this is the beginning of the foreclosure, okay? Okay, Katzman took it all the way to here, that's Katzman. And then the foreclosure ends here, this is the sale, right, sale of the property. I'm sorry, I wrote very barely. And this is where I take over. So this is me, and this is him. But let's just say up to here, he billed you for this case. I'm assuming you already paid it. $2,000. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now for me to finish the case, it's gonna cost another $1,000. Okay. The total is $3,000 in attorney's fees. You already paid the $2,000. Okay. So here, I would either bill you the $1,000, or we can look if this unit has equity in there, which a lot of units now do. I wouldn't even bill you $1,000. I would just wait till the end of the judgment and collect it directly from the unit owner. And same thing for the $2,000, by the way. So if you already paid to Katzman $2,000 for this case, then the $2,000 plus the $1,000 plus